All right. Hi, we're going to get started with our review of fundamentals of editing. I just want to go through pretty much everything and make sure that you're up on all of the skills that I want you to have as we move forward with this class. So first of all, when you open Premiere Pro, you'll end up with this window here, which offers you the opportunity to build new skills, open recently created ones, or create a new project or open an already existing project. You go find a hard drive. In this case, we'll go ahead and do a new project. And when you do a new project, we're going to call this lesson 1. And we're going to put it right here in the SFI summer folder. So you go to browse, and that'll allow you to pick where you want to put it. And so I'm going to do lesson 1. Temp, just because I don't want to keep this one. And in general, the rest of this is pretty much, you can just skip all of this because this will be set by its own by the computer when it sets up. But for example, scratch disks by default are in the same as the project. The reason you might want to move them somewhere else is if you have an array or a faster set of hard drives, sometimes it'd be faster to have your scratch disk separate from your working copy of the file. And also if you want to, if you're trying to maximize the space you have, for example, if you have a traditional hard drives and then some SSD drives or solid state drives, those are faster and you want to keep your program running there. So anyway, that's just a scratch this, and then ingest settings. It will set up. Later on, we'll get into this about how we're going to ingest our copies. We start editing 4 and 6K material. Then we'll come in here and set for create proxies and start copying, creating proxies, or transcoding. Right now, we're not going to do that. The footage I've gave you is just fine. So go back to the general. I've changed nothing in this. I just wanted to describe what it was. And I'll go, okay, and now it'll set up a file. And here's the 4 basic windows of Premiere Pro. Let me start down here in the project window, and that's where all your files come in. Now I can go out over here to the Finder or the Explorer and drag files in here, and that will work just fine. In general, what I prefer to do though is right click or hit Command I. I'm going to right click here and click Import. And that'll put me up to where I can go into my summer, and this is our editing class, classes, and class 1, and then there's the media for week 1, and this is what I have already given you, is this media. So we're going to import that, and it should import all of those files. So right here we have 2 items inside there. When we open it up, you'll see here's our sound, and then here's our clips. So these are the clips for the 30-second television commercial we're going to be doing today and next week. We'll finish it next week with some special kind of workflow techniques. I'm going to focus primarily not just on the skills, but on workflow and how to speed up your workflow. So now the way it works is I import and manage all my material here in the project window. I can go back up to different levels by stepping up with this little arrow here. And I can double click to open and step down to various levels. I can view in the project. Let me hit the tilde key. The tilde key is that little squiggly key right above the tab. In the Premiere Pro, we hit tilde all the time because tilde displays any one of the windows as a full-size window. So this project window is now displayed so we can see all of the thumbnails. Or if we choose down here in the bottom corner to do the list view, we can see all of our raw material and list, and we can see that it's in 29.97 format. It's 1920 by 1080 in size. Audio, although it doesn't matter, we're not going to use, is recorded at 48 megahertz, or hertz. So it gives us an idea of what material we have. Sometimes what I will do is over here is description, and further out is scene, shot, and then good. So sometimes I'll move this good one over here to the beginning. So I can actually stick that one right there, and then when I click on this one and I preview it, if I like it, I can actually click good and identify what are all my good takes, and then leave my good takes. I could also, if I was doing a dialogue, I might bring this description one over here too. because good, whether it's good or not, and I can shrink that down a little bit. So now see, I've got this space here, and I can then put a label here, you know, cooking, and you know, I can look at the next one and he's still cooking. This is a drink. You know, I can start organizing or noting, and I can call that one cooking good. This one here's a logo, so I can just make sure that when I glance at it, I'll know that's the logo. It's also a named logo, of course. So let's go back to thumbnail view, and you can see here's thumbnail view. So here's the one I marked good earlier, and you can see here's him moving around the kitchen. And in the thumbnail view, I can get an idea of what kind of movement and subject I have in each clip. So down here, for example, I have this shot up here in the kitchen, and then I have this shot here with flame, where it pans in with flame. This one pans in with more flame. Ooh, brighter. So, you know, I can kind of preview what I've got here in the project window. Very useful tools. And you want to be able to switch between the list view and the project view, because list view is how you're going to find out if, now this, in this case, all of our material is identical with the exception of the logo is a different size. And what I see some students doing is they will drag that logo into the media folder, and they'll drop it in here. And then what happens is now this Neo logo has become the project, because I had not started a timeline yet. And the timeline is now square, right? Because it reformatted itself to fit this. Now, I don't want to do that, because now if I bring over a clip, and you can see right now, right here is my timeline. If I bring over a clip and drag it in here, right, and drop it there after the logo, and once we leave the logo, my clip is going to be resized horizontally and cut off top and bottom, because my clip is not square. So that's not a good move. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo. And now once that's undone, if I want to undo that even being created. So now I'm back to the raw timeline, nothing in there. It says drop me to here to start sequence. So I'm going to drop a clip over here. Now I could also go down here to new and create a new sequence. And then at the point I pick the sequence, I can make sure to pick 29.9, this size right here, 1920 by 1080. And I could call this, you know, Kearns, because I want you to name everything with your name on it. 30-second commercial, right? So real quick name. And so now these ones, when I drop these clips in here, right, they'll be the correct size. And when I drop the logo in there, it will not resize to that logo, because I put another one on there earlier, and there's the logo in place filling up the frame. So that's going to be much more useful. I might even bring that logo up above, because it turns out it's a PNG, which means it has transparency. So it'll float over the top of the image. We'll talk more about how to create PNGs and create transparency in later classes. Okay, so that's a quick run through, really quick, of just the project window. The timeline. The timeline is where we build out our whole piece, as you know. And there's lots of controls here we're going to get to. And then up here, the source clip. So when I open up a source clip, it's going to open up here for preview, and I can then edit it down into the timeline. Now, a lot of you are going to tend to drag and drop things in here. And why did this one go down here? Because the audio is on that layer. So now if I bring this clip down again, it will go on 1 and 2. Okay, in the timeline, the most important thing, I hate it when I see you working at this scale. You want to learn how to enlarge the timeline. One is you can slide these sliders, and you can drag these up and down. Now, that is not the way I do it, but that is one way to do it. The best way is with keyboard shortcuts. So let's say I'm shrunken down, shrunken way down. All I have to do is hit the backslash key, which is right below the delete key, and my timeline fills up. I want to make my going closer still. I just hit plus, and I can go all the way into the pixel, to the frame. That blue line right there is one frame. And so now I'm kind of working that out and getting zoomed in. I want to see the timeline a little bigger, so I'm going to go plus. and I want to, and that's Command plus to enlarge the visuals, and Option plus to enlarge my audio files, and then regular plus or regular minus to enlarge and shrink it. To see the whole thing at any time is / key will bring back your entire piece. I want you to memorize those and be quick with changing the size of your timeline. And if I walk up behind you in editing class, or if I get the sense that you're editing like this, just a minute, sorry, I gotta get the, if you're editing like this, if this is how you're editing, like the way we started out, that is ridiculous, and don't do that. You have these incredible ability to zoom in, and Command plus, Option plus, and see what the timeline is going on. So the way it flows is I have my project window opens up in my source window. Source window edits the timeline, and then from the timeline I can see it in my project, and this is going to be my output here. So this is going to be the output to the piece. I have a little more material here. Now, why can't I expand this out? I can't expand it out because these two pieces are linked, and that's the end of this This is the end of the clip right here. So to expand this out, I need to either turn off linking, right? And then I can expand this out. See that? Or if I don't want to turn off linking, and I never do in general turn off linking, I simply hold the Option key, which then will give me the power. It temporarily disengages the link. See, there they're linked, but I click outside of Unlink. If I hold Option, I can select either one. And then I could delete that sound, for example, if I didn't want that sound. So I use Option click to select and unselect things, and to resize something like this, because I go to drag it, it won't drag because these two clips are linked and this one's shorter. Option click allows me to drag this out, and then I can get that back to its regular position. Also, these two are linked because I usually want my sound to be linked. If I want to unlink them, I can simply unlink them. One way I can do it is I can turn off linking turn off linking right here, or it's L, I think. No, it's I'm trying to see why I want to turn off that sound. So I'm going to actually turn the sound down. That's actually a better example here. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Oh, wait, let me finish talking about linking, because now I have linking turned off, right? Because what I did is I hit Command L. If I go up here and I choose both of those, and I go clips, and I go down here to link, see Command L? Now I've relinked them, so now they're linked. Oh, they should be. Oh, I got to do Command L again. So clip, unlink. Oh, I have to turn on linking. There it is. Okay. So now I've unlinked them, right? And I go up to clip, link. Oh, I have to choose both clips, and I'm going to go clip, link again, Command L. So right now they are both selected. I can hit Command L when they're both selected, and now next time I select them, they're unlinked permanently, right? Unless I select both of them and hit Command L again, right? That's Command L, and that will link them back up. Okay, so the real quick lesson on linking, unlinking. Snapping, of course, is right here. Snapping allows me to move a clip, and when I move it away, you see there's a little triangle here, a little triangle here, but when I click them together, they both get complete triangles. Right there, they turn into a complete triangle. So when I see a complete triangle, then I've closed those two pieces. See that triangle right there? So that's a little indicator of where I am with this clip. If I shorten this clip and then I drag this over and snapping's on, it'll snap to and complete the triangle. Now the triangles are telling me that those are the ends of those clips. Now that I've shortened it, I'm no longer at the end of that clip. So if I go out here, you see there's no triangle, but it still will snap. So the little triangles end up indicate that you're at the end of your media at that point, or beyond what are called your handles. So let me just, I'm going to throw a couple clips down here. So how do we edit? A lot of people will open a clip and you'll move in, and let's say we put an in point there and out point there, so there's our in out, and then they'll drag it down like this. That's fine. That's an okay way to work it. I don't really like that way of editing. And what I prefer is that I pick out another clip. Let's find another one. There we go. So these are food ones that pulls into focus. So I'm going to go out of focus, into focus, and out. So that's my in and out. I'm going to put my playhead at the end. Now I could go up here and drag the playhead around, but if I hit the down arrow, it moves automatically to the end, the up arrow to the end, or I can hit the word end or home on my button. Home will go back to the beginning of the whole clip, end to the end of the clip. And now I can put this piece in with a period or a comma. So if I hit period, it edits it down there. It's a overwrite edit, which is right here. See right there, overwrite. I could also click that button to edit in more times. Now, if I were to, I'm going to undo those two. If I decided I wanted to insert that piece, let me go ahead back here to the beginning. If I wanted to insert it, first of all, if I overwrite, what happens is it overwrites what's underneath, and this clip now appears here. If I insert it, that's just the next one over. Insert moves everything over. So see, these all moved over. The same piece got put in the middle, but this clip didn't get shortened. It got moved over. Watch my undo. This will get shorter. See how it got shorter? So overwrite does not lengthen. This did not change length, and insert does change the length, because insert inserts it and moves it out. Okay, let's get rid of those. Command Z is just undoes. So we're kind of going through the functions now. Primarily what I do is I really do like the when I'm up here on the source window. Let me grab another clip here. We'll just randomly grab another one, and I will start moving by using J, K, and L. So L will start moving. Let me turn down my audio, because I don't really need to have the audio up that much. Well, it looks like my audio is being controlled by my recorder, so no problem. So JKL, okay, there. I like it when it comes out from behind that wall. So I'm going to start right there. I put in point, and then JKL. About that's far enough, and then take it out, right? So there it is. And then I can hit period. Let me move this to the end of the playhead. Let me move down here. And then back up here, and then hit period. It will play it in there. I can now open another clip and see what kind of JKL. So I'm going to put an in point right there. I hit K to start, and out K. So JKL toggles it back and forth. I and O right above JKL put in and out points, and the period and comma are inside or overwrite. So I hit the period, and see it inserts that clip using the in and out points I did. Actually, I didn't do an out point, so I'm going to get the whole piece there. So I'm going to want to actually do the out point with the O, and now I'm going to go ahead and paste this down there, and this is the length I wanted. So I can really option delete, which will should ripple delete. There, it's shift delete, shift option delete, or shift delete to ripple that out. Okay, so I'm just throwing clips down, kind of being quick about this. You need to be more thoughtful. I'll show you next week a quicker way to do it. You've basically found you know, how to relink, how to unlink, how to temporarily disengage linking holding down the option key. Let's try some. If I say I want to take this one and Command C or edit copy right up here, copy, but Command C, and let's say I want to put that one out here. I'm going to hit the up arrow. Command V will drop that piece right here, so I can copy and paste pieces very easily. Command C, Command V, I use that all the time. One of the things I use it for is if I have a piece of music I want, I hold down the Option key so I just get this piece of sound, and I'm going to copy that. And I might actually want that sound somewhere else, so I'll copy it somewhere else. And I might want it down somewhere else, so I will choose the source and destination and paste it into that line. This is the source and the destination windows. These determine where the pieces from this clip go. If I have a piece like the logo, notice that the audio's disappeared because the logo doesn't have any audio, right? But if I have a clip with audio, now audio reappeared, and it's down here on audio 1, but I want it to be up here on audio 2, so I'm going to turn those off. So when the blue ones are both on, my audio will always go to track 1, even if it's overwriting something. So if I want the audio to go below, I need to move these ones down so that they're connected down here. So this is source. It tells me what source it is, and that is output. That's what will be placed down here in the output. Okay, we understand overwrite and insert. Now let's talk about slip and slide. I'm going through these tools fast. I know I am, but I'll do this again in class. It's just really important for you to know these tools before we move forward. So slip is actually underneath this this tool here, slip and slide, Y and U. So we're going to start by slipping. What slipping does is slipping keeps the edit points, each of these edit points, and moves the clip forward and back underneath. See how it's moving underneath the two clips. Up in the window, I don't know if you can see it. I can't see. The minute I let go, it disappears, so you can't see it. But up in the program window, when I move it, there's the end in the upper left-hand corner is the end of the clip to the left. In the upper right-hand corner is the beginning of the clip to the right, and then in the bottom is the beginning and end of the clip I'm editing. So I can do the full rotation, decide, well, I want to end on the right there, and I'm going to start when I'm coming in right there. That'll be a good move. And now let me just go back to the V tool. That's all right, to turn the volumes down here on these guys. I don't really want to. Actually, I can just mute them. It's probably the easier thing. So anyway, so I'm going there. I'm going to see how I did that edit. Now this one just has that focus pull on it. Maybe that's not the most interesting, so maybe I want to try and slip and slide that. So again, I use the Y key, and I can slip and see if there's any movement in this one. And there really isn't, but I can decide whether I want it in focus all the time now. And that's what I'll do there. Now let's say that I want to move it to the left or the right. Right now, all I'm doing is slipping what's underneath. See, I'm just slipping back and forth what we're seeing, and it's showing me what I'm lining up with, right? So I'm seeing where that wall comes and goes and leaves the frame. So there, the wall will be out of the frame, and then it'll come into the frame. So I'll go all the way over there, and there we're moving out of the frame. Yeah, we moved it out of the frame so we don't see it. See, it starts there, it's in the frame, and it's going to move out of the frame like that. So we can pick right when it leaves the frame as our point. So there, right when it leaves the frame is what we're going to have as our edit point. So now I have, there it is, and right when that leaves, bing, we edit. See how I set that edit page there, controlling those? So that is the slip tool. Now the other way, the slide tool is down here, is the U, but I rarely come over here to the toolbar. I almost always will just hit Y and U. But U allows me to arrange where this position of this one goes, and it's going to change the length of the end of this clip. Let me enlarge this a little more. So what's going to happen is it's going to change the length of this clip and this clip, making, if I move it this way, it's going to make this clip shorter and this clip longer. The same content I'm just moving it left or right. Again, I have displays that show me the relationship, but now it shows me what's happening to the clip to the right and the left, because maybe I want this one to cut into that just as he comes out of that behind that thing. So now when we cut here, it's going to come, see how the wall disappeared and then he popped out from behind a wall. So I'm connecting action. basically with my slip and slide tools. I line up the clips the way I want them, and then I use the slip and slide to kind of connect the action of where it's going to happen, right? And so if I go over, I can slip and slide this one, although this is the end of that clip, so I want them, yeah, I don't have one at the end there. But I can slip and slide this one to find a different piece of that one. But notice it's changing the length of the clip before and over. So if I move all the way over here, this other clip is disappeared all but a tiniest bit here. See, there it is. It's 1 frame long. So I don't want to do that. That's really a bad idea. You have to be careful with the slip and slide tool. Slip and slide is incredibly useful. I'll go through it with you several times. Y and U are the keyboard shortcuts, and you can basically hit the Y or the U and look at the little symbol there. The symbol shows you this is going to slip the clip within the clip, and this is going to move the clip over 2 ends. See how those arrows go? So it kind of tells you what it's going to do. Okay, so that's slip and slide. Now ripple and roll. Ripple and roll are N and B, just down below the Y and U. And I can also go up here and get the roll tool and the ripple tool. So the roll tool will just simply take this edge right here and roll it earlier or later. So it moves, it changes this clip and this clip, just moving the edit point across in it. Now watch when I grab onto it, what happens is I see the beginning, the end of the clip on the left, the beginning of the clip on right, and I can see that they're both changing, right? They're going out, that one on the right's going out of focus. So I can line them up where I want them to match or not match. And so that's an effective kind of motion to create. And I can look at like when, like right here, we have the guy coming out from behind. See right behind there, I can look and go, okay, well, right when the wall disappears, right? See how those 2 angles line up? Actually, right there, the wall line lined up. Watch this cut here. See how that wall line lined up with this wall at the other end as it exits. So you can use these tools to get visual reference. So the roll tool moves both clips, changes the length of both clips, and moves the editing point somewhere else. The ripple tool actually cuts out material. The ripple tool is B, and so now it turns into the yellow thing, and when I ripple this shorter, it's just simply cutting it out. And if I hit the backslash key, so you can see everything, when I ripple this down, you'll see everything compressed down, everything got shorter. I ripple edited it, so everything's getting shorter. Notice when I come up here, it says, no, you can't do that over the top of it, but you can do it here, right? So now I could ripple out a little bit of this length, or I could ripple out this, which will then shorten that clip some more. So rippling is ripple delete, basically. It deletes and makes your clip shorter. You can also get the ripple tool by not selecting it here, just being on the pointer, which is the letter V. And with the pointer, I have this red one, which will change the length of that clip. But if I want to ripple and delete that at the same time, I simply hold the Option key down, no, the Command key, and it changes from the roll tool to the ripple tool. See it? Roll tool, ripple tool. And so I can, when I get the yellow one, I can ripple that shorter, or I can ripple it longer. See how it expanded it out? Shorter. Now I'm holding down the Command key to get this yellow one. And if I want to hold the Command key down, I can get the roll tool. So I don't even need to click over here to get the roll tool, which is very nice. Again, turn volume up and down on these clips is this line right here. If I don't see the line, I can turn it on by right-clicking, go down, Show Keyframes, Clip Volume, Level, and that's what's being displayed there. Down here, Show Keyframes. That's the bottom of my frame. I hope you're seeing that. Okay, so what do we have to? We did the ripple and roll, audio waveform. I'll just point out real quickly, just for fun, how do you turn up and down the audio. If I want to add keyframes, which we'll go in detail what keyframes are, I can click, 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 and make those keyframes, and then I can turn down. Oops, I didn't mean to do it that way. Let me undo that. Then I can turn down that clip, let go, and turn down this clip. So you got to hover right over them. That's part of why you want to enlarge them. And I'm using the up key to go back. Here's the sound, and now if we turn off the mute, I did already, it flares up and flares back down. So like for example, when I might use that would be when I was cooking. So the one thing I didn't show you that I want you to do today, I want you to organize your clips. So part of what that is creating some new bins and looking at what kind of clips you have. You have kitchen clips. As I look down here, it looks like food clips. Go down a little further, and well, let me just actually go to the and tilde key. Hit the tilde key. I can see I have drinks, I have food, I have atmosphere or interior, I have an exterior somewhere. Here's the exterior right here. So there's exterior panning shot. And then I have the kitchen shots. So what I would do is create bins to represent all of those items. So I can create bins right down here. There's the new bin button. I just made a new bin and I'll call it kitchen, for example. And once I have the kitchen, I can drag all my kitchen clips in there. See the kitchen? And I can actually click on one, hold the command key, click on another one, and click on another one, and another one. I'm holding the command key down so I can click on those, drag them in there. And now I have all my kitchen clips in one location. So when I want to cut the kitchen, I'll have that arranged. So this is how I would go through and organize my material. The first responsibility of a editor is to organize their material and to be well organized. So I want you to start by doing that. All right, so now, assuming, I'm going to hit the tilde key again, assuming we're happy with our edit and we're finished, which we're not, but if we'd finished editing this, and you're just going to do a rough edit at this point, kind of playing with the different clips and getting to know this material, and next week we'll do a final edit, and I got some tricks and techniques to show you for then. But for now, I want you to just get this basic output. So let's say we want to save the project, File, Save, Command S, and it does have an autosave feature. If we go up here to Preferences, Autosave right there, I can click that up and it'll show me where the autosave is and how often it is. All right, so there it popped up, and you can see it's saved to 15 minutes, saved the last 20 versions. I oftentimes will take this down to 5 minutes, and I will oftentimes save the backup to Creative Cloud so it lives off my computer, so I always have a saved backup version of what I've done. If you've ever lost a project, even 15 minutes of editing can be a lot of material if you're moving fast like I do. So I'm going to change it to 5 minutes. Okay, for this project. So now now that I've saved it, I can save it again, Command S, right? And then I can close the project. Hope that helped, a little understanding of Premiere Pro.